And the Prime Minister may shake his head propped up by these gullible backbenchers, but here's the challenge. Will he ensure that all the cancelled elections from this year and the proposed local elections for next year will go ahead in May 2026? Go on, be a man. Yeah.
Tensions boil over in Parliament as Anderson challenges Starmer and Labour MPs. You're not going to believe what just happened in Parliament. Because this wasn't your usual shouting match, your routine back and forth, or one of those predictable exchanges we've all grown numb to. No, this moment hit different. This moment made even the loudest MPs sit up, turn their heads, and think. Wait, did Lee Anderson really just say that? And yes, he absolutely did. What unfolded in the chamber felt less like a debate and more like a pressure valve finally exploding. Tension that had been building for months, quietly, steadily, finally boiled over right there on the Commons floor. And the person lighting the match? Lee Anderson, direct, unapologetic, and clearly fed up. But before we dive into the clash itself, here's the backdrop you need to understand. For weeks, the atmosphere in Westminster has been thick. Not the usual political theatre, something heavier. People across the UK have been frustrated. Economic numbers, immigration debates, public services under strain. And through all of this, questions have been swirling around whether Labour has a clear vision and whether Keir Starmer is connecting with the public in the way he needs to. So when Anderson stood up during a heated session discussing trust, transparency, and political accountability, the room already had sparks. All it needed was oxygen. And Anderson provided it. He locked eyes with the Labour front bench, leaned slightly forward, and delivered a line that instantly shifted the energy. The British people are tired of polished speeches and vague promises. They want honesty. They want clarity. And right now, they're not getting it. You could feel the air tighten. Starmer raised his head. Labour MPs shifted in their seats. Anderson wasn't done. He pressed on, questioning what he described as consistent mixed messaging from Labour on key issues, insisting that the country deserved straight answers, not carefully crafted political language. He spoke about communities feeling unheard. He spoke about voters being asked to just trust leaders without being shown the plan. And then he hit the emotional nerve. People are struggling, and they look here, to this house, expecting leadership. But all they see is confusion from the very people asking for their trust. That line landed hard. Even MPs who usually ignore Anderson turned to watch. Starmer attempted to interject, but Anderson kept going, saying, "We can't keep dodging the tough conversations. And Labour can't keep pretending everything is under control when clearly it isn't." Now, to be clear, everything Anderson said stayed within parliamentary boundaries. He didn't accuse anyone of wrongdoing. He didn't cross any lines. But what he did do was deliver a blunt, emotionally charged challenge that cut through the political noise. And that's why the room erupted. Labour MPs immediately pushed back. Several shouted, "Nonsense!" Others shook their heads, visibly irritated. One MP yelled, "Sit down!" which only made Anderson raise his voice slightly, emphasizing that he wouldn't be silenced just because his words were uncomfortable. Starmer responded with calmness, a tone he's known for saying that Anderson was peddling division and that Labour had a clear, responsible plan for the country. But here's what made the moment explosive. Anderson replied instantly and sharply, "If the plan is so clear, then why do the British people keep saying they can't see it?" That was the line that sent the chamber into full-blown uproar. Now, let's talk reactions, because they were just as intense as the moment itself. Within minutes, social media went wild. One viewer posted, "Anderson just said what millions of us have been thinking for months." Another wrote, "You don't have to like him, but he's not wrong. Leadership needs clarity." But of course, it split opinion too. A viral comment read, "This is exactly the kind of unnecessary drama that distracts from real issues." Even some political insiders chimed in. A senior strategist told a UK political outlet, "This exchange shows how fragile the political mood is right now. People are tense. Parties are tense. And Parliament is feeling it." Others suggested that Anderson's attack, though fiery, tapped into a genuine public frustration about communication, transparency, and trust. And that's what made it powerful. Not the volume, not the confrontation, but the emotional truth underneath it. So what does this mean going forward? Well, moments like this rarely stay contained within Parliament's walls. They ripple outward through news cycles, through public debates, through party strategy rooms. Some insiders believe this clash could push Labour to sharpen its messaging. Others think it might embolden MPs who feel the public is losing patience with slow, cautious politics. One commentator said, "This wasn't about Anderson versus Starmer. This was about Parliament versus the country's frustration." And honestly, that's exactly what it felt like. Whether you agree with Anderson or not, you can't deny the underlying problem he highlighted. People want clarity. People want purpose. People want leaders who speak plainly and act boldly. That's why the moment hit so hard. So here's the big question. If tensions are already boiling over like this, what happens next? Because Parliament can't keep absorbing this kind of pressure forever. Eventually, something will give policy, leadership, or public patience. And the real story might not be what Anderson said, but what this eruption reveals about where the country is emotionally right now. One thing's for sure. This wasn't just another heated exchange. This was a warning shot. A signal that the political temperature is rising faster than anyone expected. And the next eruption? It might be even bigger.